Jesse is not cooperating with the detectives who are investigating the death of Lynn Hernan, who has been killed by a fatal dose of eye drops. Just to review, at this point, it seems that Lynn's death was staged as an overdose from her prescription medication. However, upon receiving the toxicology report, detectives realized that the cause of death was actually the ingestion of about 6 bottles of eye drops. Jesse, the current suspect, claims to have information that will exonerate her. But there's a catch. Jesse will only give out that information if she can get a vacation from jail. Now let's watch how detectives respond to Jesse's trump card. A secret lockbox buried 5 feet deep under the ground.
Probably just irritating, but whatever, Jesse, right? Give me 1 second.
So are you guys coming because I wanted it or because you guys wanted it? There's so
because I think because you sent a communication.
Yeah, they were so confused and they came to me. I'm like, wow, I sent 2, but not recent. I don't.
Yeah.
So I was so confused.
Yeah. So we came up with your communication for it.
Well, and I was like, that was an older one, but
There was one that wasn't dated.
that's what they said. And I said, well, to be honest, I was waiting for the PO, and I said, since she didn't come today, I'm going to be submitting one, but I just assumed, like, the PO and everybody else, you guys have regular days on regular Monday.
A little bit of all different shifts. So, obviously,
Same routine.
same routine, Jesse, as always. Okay, you understand
Yeah.
that? No questions asked on that one. I should know it by now, but what's your middle initial, Jesse?
R.
Birthday. Why do I want to say 14?
It's okay, I got pulled out of my room today. I go, they handcuffed me, and they're like, this lady wants to see you, and it's the nurse, and I'm like, she's like, and Julie, what's your last name? I was like, my first name was Jesse, and my last name's Krzyzewski, and she's like, can you spell that? She says, yeah, this isn't you. She goes, what's your room? I said, 425. And she goes, are you overdosing? I said, yeah, I don't use drugs, so you got the wrong person.
So they kept you in pot 4, they didn't bring you down last night. Okay, good.
Were they supposed to?
No, obviously when we talked to you for a couple days in a row, they want to know what's going on, and we told them, and sometimes given the circumstances, sometimes they put you in a more observation area.
Oh, okay. No.
All right, Jesse, let's start this is a part over with. You have the right to remain silent.
Yes.
Anything you say can or will be against you in court.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
Yes.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer before questioning and have him or her present during questioning.
Yes.
If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before questioning if you wish.
Yes.
You can decide at any time to start to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand all of the rights I have read to you?
Yes.
And you understand what they are? Do you have any questions?
No.
You're willing to talk to me?
Yes.
Go ahead and sign for me right there, okay? It is the 12th, and it is 4:14 p.m.
Do you just work all shifts?
Pretty much. We're kind of all over. I mean, my partners may say different, but...
Well, because my mom actually was just here earlier, and she goes, oh, mine works second shift. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We're all over the board.
Yeah, I know your mom was trying to get her phone back.
Yeah, she was like, I just want to talk to her, and I'm like, So they did like the video thing. I thought it was the PO being all excited. Yeah, it was.
So obviously, it's being recorded. But for the record, we thought you wrote a communication for us. We clarified it wasn't the date, but you told the CEO upstairs that you still wanted to talk to us. So, fair enough, because I still have, I'd like to ask you some questions too. I still like to clarify some things. I think we still have some stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I'm going to give you the first crack here. So you said you had some questions. Feel free. Go ahead and ask what you want.
I just basically am trying to see if we know any more where things are at. My biggest thing is obviously I can't talk to Julie, and that's hard for me right now because I think I'm probably going to be sitting, or she's going to either pen things or wait. I'm assuming she doesn't want me to wait until you guys figure out what charges are going to be.
She met with Detective Cole yesterday. my understanding was he briefed her on the investigation and where we were at, and her plan was to come talk to you.
Okay.
So, obviously you didn't get any paperwork,
No.
or anything like that. So,
Well, and I know she was off today, so my mom did call and found out that. And I said, well, I know she had something happen with the family, so I didn't know.
yeah.
That's just what I was wondering is she coming? Because I keep putting it off, and my big thing is I guess that I am waiting to really say to you guys because I wanted to talk to her first. But I need to just put it out there eventually because I'm going to run out of time. I do have some stuff of Lynn's
Okay.
that can help me as far as a video that she recorded and phone conversation, or not phone conversations, talking conversations and papers that she had signed. That when she was first going through some stuff, I also do have some bottles of Visine with dates on them, and I do have that partial gun. I don't have any bullets. I don't have the bomb that fires it. And this is all a safekeeping that Lynn actually held on to, and I added to in case something ever happened. I didn't want to tell you guys until I talked to an attorney, because that's my biggest thing is I want to talk to somebody, because I don't know what to do going forward. And my mom goes, well, didn't they find it? I said, no, it's not at the house. My mom doesn't know where it is. She doesn't know anything.
Okay. So with that being said, you just made a comment. You said you want an attorney.
I will still talk.
Okay, I need to clarify. Remember, Jesse, at any time you decide you don't want to talk to us any further and you want an attorney, you can end this, okay? So
I am that.
I understand your rights and you still want to keep talking to us, okay? Is that true?
Correct.
Okay, remember.
That's why I'm letting you know. I have put it off because I was hoping she would have been here sooner. Where I'm at right now, and this is why I wanted to talk to you guys, because I don't know how to handle it, or without being able to talk to her, don't know if you guys can interfere, I don't know how it works. Basically, this is where I'm at, is I know that something's going to happen, obviously. I know you guys are still looking into stuff. I know this is going to take a little bit of time, I understand that. I know I have some violations. I don't know how serious or what she categorizes them, I don't know. So, and I don't know what she's going to do, obviously, with those. I haven't had any since I've been out, so that's 2 years and some time. I have 5 months left. I know once I have a charge, I'm going to have a revocation hearing, or more than likely, it's going to be revoked. I know that, with my 5 months left.
And how much time do you have hanging on
5
your head?
months. That is my maximum discharge. So my question is, with that, they cannot add to it. I can give her charges, but they can't extend that, correct? Because I've already had it and extend.
I'm going to leave that up to them.
I know,
but let me ask you, though.
Yeah.
If I told you, and this is where we talked about yesterday, is the part where when we leave gaps, and when you're not honest with us on one day, but then the next day you want to be honest, that's a problem.
I get it.
So when I ask you that, if you're concerned about getting revocated 5 months versus 20 years, 30 years, you see the huge difference. So that's fine. You might screw yourself a little bit with your probation, but if this helps us determine what happened, and it saves, you're talking about a significant charge. So again, how you got to go with perception, how it looks. So
this is where I am coming at. I am willing to divulge that information, obviously, because it's going to help me, honestly. But at the same sense, where I'm having a hard time, and this is why I wanted to talk to Julie, but I'm sitting right now and I can't. Okay? So this is in a storage in somebody else's name. Okay? Also, it's due to be paid. So I'm worried as far as what's going to happen in the meantime. My mom has to pay it, and I said, I won't give you the information. Strictly because I know you guys are listening to calls. I know I'm not releasing that until I'm ready. And the simple fact is because I need to talk to somebody. So she did call today for an attorney, but I also want to talk to Julie. So this is my question or proposal or asking, and you can say I'm crazy or that's not going to work or I don't know. That's why I'm talking to you, is I am wondering if there's a way you guys can talk with Julie or get her in here, obviously, if you say she's coming, great. I know she won't come until Monday or after, obviously, the weekend. What I am trying to do, I don't care if I have to wear an ankle monitor. I don't care if I have to check in 5 times a day with you guys or her. I don't care what I have to do. I'm asking for a week to 2 weeks to go pay my bills, find an attorney, and clear the air here. That's what I want. I don't know how possible that is, but I am willing to do whatever it takes, including wearing an ankle bracelet. I think I'm not a runner. I'm not going anywhere. But I can't do much sitting here. That's the problem. And I'm going to be real honest about one more thing. My mom, she's got that Jeep. She took out a title loan for that Jeep. I am to be making the payments. That is also due. So she's freaking out right now. She doesn't even know what to do about that. I said, you need to be honest and tell Julie about it. Because that's the only thing, that's the only way I can help you. Because she can't do anything with my accounts, obviously. So I just told her, I said, you guys tell her, you gotta be honest. So I'm just letting you guys know about this all stuff, because this is what is on my mind and the worry for the next week coming. The other thought is, regardless of what happens, I need to pack my stuff up at Scott's. My mom ain't gonna do it. She took my car, she took my purse. I gotta get my stuff out of there. So I know that. I'm not trying to run. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm trying to take care of shit is my biggest thing. And I can't do it sitting here. And I feel like everything's pending right now except the PO violation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering besides that, if there's something that can be worked out for the time being until you guys are done with your investigation.
So what you're telling me is Jesse, that you have information that you think could be valuable for your end of this case that could help clear your name.
Yes.
And you are willing to try and hold that kind of as a ransom, per se, to get what you want. And ransom's a tough word, but get what you're saying. You're saying, hold on a second, you're saying, detective, I have information that can help clear my name or help me understand, or help you understand what happened here, but I'm not going to give it to you for this. Jesse, we told you yesterday, we can't do anything with probation.
And I get that.
Julie's going to do whatever she wants. We can't do that. We can't let you out. I can't let you do that. All I can tell you is if you have information I think could be helpful for it's a benefit for you.
And I get that. I think the biggest thing is right now is I don't want to do anything with that until that part is talked to or an attorney looks at. And that's where I'm at with that, because I don't know everything that's there. I didn't fully go through it, I'll be honest. But this is something she had started. I had added to it. But it's more so I'm trying to be careful here because I feel like I already got myself in a mess. And before I add to it, I need some outside litigation.
Let me ask you, what do you think? Again, you made that comment now.
But I'm still talking to you. I'm not saying I'm not willing to talk to you. I'm not saying that. But at the same sense, I feel like, and I'll be very honest, fresh to talking to my mom today, I feel like she wasn't allowed her phone still because you guys don't want us to talk. I get that.
No,
but after talking to her, I feel like everyone's getting different parts of the story.
Let me back up there. Your mom's phone, we're just having problems with it. Okay. If we were trying to stop you guys from talking, we would block your visits.
Okay.
I mean,
that's kind of what I thought.
And we can't monitor visits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not trying to stop you guys from talking. There's none like that. You're on no restrictions, Jesse.
Well, and I didn't even know her house was searched until today, which I don't care.
Okay.
But I brought up to her that letter that Lynn wrote, because I know when Lynn wrote that, and I was either that was one when I was still in jail or when she was helping Mom when I first got out. But Mom's like, everything that me and her were saying, we were getting different, and she's working with somebody different. I don't know who. But I feel like we're getting different information. And that's what is worrying me. Now, Scott told me that you guys are charging him first-degree murder. That's what you guys told him. And I'm like, what? I didn't. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just getting a little concerned because of that. So I'm not saying I'm not talking to you because I'm here talking to you, but I'm getting a little worried here, like, when do I have to stop?
Scott's going off the information on the warrant. Okay, that's what Scott is going off of. The rest, I can't tell you when to stop. You know, you have that right to stop at any point you want. You can tell me to go pound sand or be nice and say, detective, I just want to go back to my jail cell. I mean, that's totally up to you. But what I'll tell you is, or what I really want to ask you is, what is in there that you think would be so damning for your probation, that you're so worried about Julie finding? Because, Jesse, let me ask you.
I'm not really worried about the probation at this point.
Then what? Without you telling me exactly, what's in the story that's gonna be so damning? Because I'll tell you.
I don't know. That's what I don't know exactly everything in it. That's why, it's not that I don't want to say, here you go, I want you to have it. It's not that I don't want to say that, because trust me, I want to. But at the same sense, I don't know for sure without, me seeing it. And I didn't really look at it. I did this, how long ago now?
But even if you talked to Julie and you said, hey, okay, we're not going to take you out. We're not going to let you go through it, Jesse. I mean, I'll just tell you right now, if you're trying to clear yourself and you think something's out there, I guess I wouldn't hold it. Mandy, I mean, would you hold something that's possibly going to help you?
Yeah.
I mean, throw probation aside.
Yeah.
We know you're not supposed to be a Potawatomi, and you're a Potawatomi. A lot. We know you're not supposed to have guns, whether you acknowledge that you were.
Yeah. I get what you're saying on that one.
Guns and bows are two different things.
That case, honest to God, since I moved in the house, has never moved from under the bed. And it's huge. He's a bow hunter.
Okay.
That's why he hasn't hunted the whole time I've been with him.
With this guy for 3.5 years.
I get it, but he hasn't hunted one time I've been with him.
You're sleeping
so
over
that
guns.
Stayed in there.
Guns. You're sleeping over guns.
I would just say it though. I swear to
God.
God.
You ever look under your bed and say, man, what's in this case?
I always assumed it's
Jeez, there's a box in my bed. I know what's in there, but every 2 months I'm looking again.
Like a bow case to you though?
To be honest, I've never even seen it.
Oh,
I've never seen
my mom's boyfriend used to be a bow hunter. It's a huge, bow case. You know how they, turn? I haven't seen a gun in a case like that ever. But I'm not a gun person. Sorry, I'm not.
Okay.
And he knew I'm not supposed to be around guns. He's known that. So I'm like, how do you tell me you have 2 on top of it?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's the part that gets me.
Yeah.
So, now leads me to what else would be in there that you wouldn't want us to see? I mean,
I don't know, and that's where I'm at this point. I'm not saying I'm not gonna release it, but I feel like I have been I went back and forth with you guys, but I feel like now you guys know the most. I feel like I still don't know. You guys are still digging into stuff, and I don't know what. I don't really know why. Because, you guys said, well, the medical examiner said this. And something Detective Cole said to me yesterday caught me wrong at the end of the interview. And he kept saying, oh, I think you did it for this. And at the end of the interview, he made me feel like he was saying, you're a murderer. That's honestly how I felt. So I went, I'm getting 2 different sides here. I don't know if you guys are playing the good cop, bad cop. I always watch cop shows on TV too much. I'm telling you, I do. I'm not.
Well, with the 3 interviews, I don't think we were either. I mean, yeah, he got a little.
I don't know what to feel about any of this right now.
We weren't playing that though, Jesse. I know. Were we? I know he got a little animated yesterday, but I mean, for the most part, we weren't dicks to you, were we?
No, I'm not saying that. I just don't know at this point where to feel like things are. I don't know what to think next because I'm not getting anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I used to work for a law firm. So I'm not saying I'm done talking. I just don't know when's enough to be like, okay, I need to talk to somebody because I'm facing some serious charges. That's where I'm at. I don't know because I'm getting it both ways. I see it looking like this. Well, obviously you guys don't know what the DA is going to do. Mm-hmm. But then you guys are like, well, we're still looking into this. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well, we're still looking into the entire investigation, Jesse. I mean, it's not just, this isn't, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband or wife. She pissed me off and she told me she was cooking dinner, she didn't, and I shot her. It's not cut and dry like that.
I get it.
There is so many different components to this. And yesterday, I think we're 95%. I think we're all on the same page as far as, what happened. I still think there's some loose ends that we have to tie up, and it would be nice to tie up. But now you're coming forward, you're saying, I have this, and that might help me. Yeah. And that's the part where it boggles the mind of, if something's going to help you, Jesse, why aren't we looking at this? Why aren't you giving this? Because the reality is, you knew you were giving Lynn, something that had 6 bottles of Visine in it.
But I also wasn't giving it to her without her knowing that either. That's where I feel like now you guys are going, did she know?
But here's the part. So you want us, because we can't ask Lynn that question anymore, and you want us to trust you and believe that you're telling us that and saying, hey, detective, I swear to you, Lynn knew she was getting that. Yeah. But what are we supposed to think when Tuesday's a different story, Wednesday's a different story, Thursday's a different story, and now come Friday, I have stuff that could help me, but I don't want to. That's where I'm telling you the perception of what are we supposed to think when it hasn't been as, all right, guys, here's what happened. We're not getting that. So help me believe you when you're telling me that, Jesse, and that's why I'm telling you. Would it be easy enough? Okay, Jesse said she gave her a bottle of water with 6 Visines in it. Here you go, Judge, District Attorney. Let's charge her a first-degree homicide. You would have been in intake court today. Your face would have been all over the news, but we're not doing that. Here we are. We're sitting. We're still trying to talk. We're still trying to figure it out. So, you know, I mean, help me out there, Jesse. Help me.
Trust me, you got me up in a cell, losing my mind, talking to myself right now, and it's very hard, very hard.
So you're going crazy up there?
I'm going nuts. I mean, trust me, I prefer the single cell versus Milwaukee any day.
True.
But it is, I haven't done this in a while. It's very hard, and I'm telling you, prison's way better. Not that I want to go. I don't. But I guess I'm at a point where I don't know what to think anymore. I don't. You know, my mom's freaking out, and she goes, well, clearly you didn't do anything. They should know that, you know. And then she's going, well, I think you need an attorney. And I'm going, so it's just, I don't know what to think anymore. You know, I'm at a point where I am really like, what? And I guess it's hard for me because I'm not as worried about the probation. I am, don't get me wrong, I am. But this is a lot more serious.
Very much.
You know,
Very much so.
What I guess for me is where I'm getting frustrated is had I not been on probation, I wouldn't be sitting right now. I'd be out until I was charged. And that's what's frustrating is because I'd be able to do more right now as far as, hopefully take care of a job that I probably don't have anymore because it's been 4 days and nobody's called them.
Did your mom didn't give him a call?
She didn't know until today nobody called.
Okay.
And at this point, I don't know when I'm getting out. So what are you really going to call them and tell them, hey, she's in jail? I don't really want
How much do they like you?
Well, they like me, but I'm still new. So it's like, how much can you do when and we had somebody on vacation this week and somebody on vacation next week. So that's going to be a hard one.
All right. Let me ask you, Are you okay? Let's get back to this in a minute. Let's get back to the storage stuff in a minute. Are you okay if I ask you some questions about that last day again?
Yeah.
Okay. So we covered before that you bought the 11 bottles, 2 at the house, 3 in the vodka, 6 in the water, right? When did she drink the vodka?
The night before.
The night before. So the night before she died.
And you know, I thought of this because I don't think I clarified it very well. She had 2, it was roughly, I'm going to say somewhere between like 3 and 5. I don't know my exact time I was there. I said I'm honest, I'm not good with times. You can check on my phone. I'm not lying. I was there. I just don't know for sure. The early afternoon-wise. And she drinks, they're like about this tall and about, I don't know, like that. That's what she always drank her vodka. But it wasn't straight vodka. I want to clarify that because I don't think I said that. And he's like, well, she couldn't have drank that much that quick. She never drank straight vodka. It was always vodka water. My mom knows that too. But I want to clarify that because I don't think I said that. And I want to make that sure that was said.
So vodka water, Visine?
Yes. Well,
That's why I get far. Okay. So when she put it you're still saying she put it in?
I'm still saying she put it in. I was not there when she did that. I was not there. I came back and the bottles were empty. These were 2-3 days prior when I came back and the bottles were empty, and I asked her where they were.
Do you think she would have put it in a bottle of vodka? I mean, was it the big Fleischmann's bottle?
It's a big bottle, but there was only about, I want to say, not a lot.
Okay, so would she have put it in there, or would she have put it in her glass?
No, she would have put it in the bottle.
Yeah,
Usually she put the stuff in the bottles. Yeah.
Okay. So the water. Are you there when she puts it in the water?
No. I was not there when she put it in either or. I have before, but not this time.
Okay.
And I know when she puts it in the water, I usually could tell because of the top. Usually. But she got used to me throwing those ones out on her.
And when you say that, can you describe what do you mean by that?
You know when you on-cap, I don't know, when you on-cap, you can generally notice.
Yes. Okay.
Because after she passed, my mom went to grab water out of the fridge too, and like days later, and I said, don't grab anything, because I just don't trust the bottles anymore. I got to the point where I threw out everything, so. And the one thing my mom did ask, out of curiosity, regardless of how she looked, how come that water bottle and the stuff around her, her blanket, things like that, how come that wasn't taken?
Because at the time, there was nothing suspicious.
Okay.
We didn't think.
I was just curious myself, because I was like, even the blanket, I'm like, I remember that was there, and I'm like, well,
I mean, hey, Jesse, when we get a call from medical
I get it.
examiner saying that there's a problem because it's not what it looks like
Yeah.
that day, trust me, it threw everybody for a loop. And when you talk about time of the investigation, that's why it took so long,
Yeah.
because clearly, sometimes we sometimes we tend to do that as cops. You go to a scene and sometimes we go overkill, but when we do it for that reason, because you can never go back. And this is one of those ones where you wish you had that time machine and you go back. Yeah. So we didn't, and unfortunately, we were kind of starting from behind the 8 ball on this one.
I do want to clarify something else too, but if you want to keep going,
No, go ahead and clarify.
As far as that paper, I did again. I brought that up today because it was bothering me. That is a living will. That is not her. And I really want to clarify that because I know I was with her when we signed that, and that was purposely for medical purposes and for her lockbox. And that really bothered me because I really didn't, and my mom and the attorney actually. Have you guys talked to the attorney at all? Okay, the attorney can attest to that because we called her together and said Lynn passed away, whatever, so forth, because Lynn gave us everything. This is what you do, she was good about that. Just like those papers that were out, she always had everything ready. But I did not know she changed her will. And I really don't. I didn't know I was a personal rep, and I wasn't even on the will before. It was my mom and Anthony. She changed it sometimes when I got out of prison, and my mom did not know either. It was always Anthony and my mom, and then she switched it to me and Anthony. My mom was like backup or something. But I did not, and that really bothered me because the financial aspect, I know you guys keep going back to that, but if you talk to the attorney, she knows too, because that was one thing I wanted to do too if I got out, was ask her when that was changed, and she can verify that I didn't know either because of when I called. My mom actually said, I'm calling, blah, 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 and she said, actually, I need to talk to Jesse, not you. So.
Who got the proceeds from the house sale?
They were split.
Between who?
Me and Anthony.
Okay.
I mean, the majority went to creditors, so.
Okay.
I didn't know if you guys had talked to the attorney or dealt with any of that, or.
No, I mean, that's all to do in the future here. First things first was trying to clarify.
Well, no, because we have a claim hitting probate, coming back to probate right now, and everything's been settled. So I thought maybe you guys were into that too, so I didn't know.
Okay. No, I mean, we know you were at the probates, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
And honestly, after all the credit cards, between me and Anthony, it was $1,300. Or $13,000. Sorry, I said that wrong.
13,000?
Yeah.
Profit.
Yes. After the creditors. And now we have more creditors still coming in. It was closed, but they're reopening. And that's just because we couldn't keep up with everything that there was. They had their time frame. I had what we were getting forwarded as far as mail and stuff. I knew of majority, but I didn't obviously know every single thing. I mean, she had multiple credit cards from the same company that I wasn't even aware of. Like, I think she had like seven all from the same company, but some were under different names, like Capital One-wise. So, I mean, she had an insane, I've never seen somebody with that many credit cards, I'll be honest. I mean, never. Even the attorney said that. And I do want to clarify, too, because I know you guys were looking at financial. I did not open anything after she passed away. Nothing. So I don't know where that's coming from, but I know that for a fact. I did not touch anything.
We never accused her of after she died. No.
Oh, that's what I thought you guys said yesterday. And I was like, I did not. Anything I did was with her while she was alive. I didn't do anything without her.
All right. Can you want water? Visine for you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I'm a bad guy.
This place is so dry. It's not just here, it's this whole building.
It's dry.
Yeah.
It is.
Like being here for a couple of days, I'm like, oh my, like I'm talking so much lately, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, put my lips and everything, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like awful. Are you one of the working on it too, or you're just helping out today?
I'm just helping out second shift detective today.
No, because my mom gave me somebody's name. I don't know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
over. Next.
So I thought maybe it was you or something. I didn't know.
No, ma'am, not my name.
Okay. I just want to clarify one thing, Jessica,
Yes.
real quick, okay, before we keep talking, because it kind of, I just want, you said before
Yes.
that you want an attorney. Let me ask you, you are still knowingly saying that you're waiving your right to an attorney and
Yes.
you want to keep talking to us, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure that that's the case, that at no
I
point.
completely understand the difference.
Okay.
Like I said, I worked for a law firm for years.
So you know.
Watch all this stuff. Yes. I know. Once
When you were talking about that, you're talking about, you want to talk about the PO and then you talk about anything else?
Yes. No, I'm still talking to you, and I'm still able to talk to you. I didn't say otherwise. I just know eventually I have to bring in outside something, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, but again,
I'm saying right now, yes,
so
I'm still talking.
you're still
Yes.
waiving your right to an attorney at this
Yes.
point? Okay. All right. Let's go. We'll take a break. I promised you something earlier. We'll do that.
Oh,
And then,
come back.
well, yeah, my alarm. So we're
Okay.
okay?
sure. I was like, I thought you had more questions for me.
No. So remember, we're not going to we're not going to talk about anything out there. We'll save it all for back in here.
I'm bringing them with me.
Sure, go ahead. Make it right again.
Can I ask you a curiosity?
This is always good.
Why didn't you guys just have me come in? Why did it have to go through all that?
We tried to. We tried to get you to come in last.
Well, it wasn't that I wasn't going to come in. It's just I started that new job. I'm like, well, no, I thought about it, and I'm like, why is it they had to get like this extreme? I wasn't saying no, I was just trying to work it out in a different.
Different
Well,
time frame.
and then he's like, yeah. Well, then he's like, oh, I'll get back to you, and I just.
Well, we did. We got back to you. We came to your house. We came to you.
I mean, I've never, not came in for anything. I see my PO on the regular. I do everything like I'm supposed to. That's why I'm like, why? I'm just curious.
All right, Jesse. So
Let's go back.
let's get back to this whole thing. So let's go over something. I know Chris told you to sit there and said, this guy thinks that you murdered her for money. Okay, we talked about yesterday, all right? Now you're saying that you have evidence that can validate your claim that Lynn was trying to hurt herself and that she basically was enlisting your help to do that.
Yes.
Now you're saying that you have evidence of that. Explain to me why that you're so against showing us that.
I'm not against it. I just am not ready yet. That's what it is. I'm not against it. I'm really not. I just don't know. I guess I'm not ready yet. And it was something I thought the other day, and it's just because that's the point where I want to talk to somebody, and I want to have a better idea of my options with them, because I don't know where things stand right now. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's not that I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to just hang on to it forever. Or I'm not. That's not my plan at all, obviously. But I just, at this point, I don't know where I stand as far as the legal process or how things work. I don't know enough knowledge, I guess.
Is there anything that I can help clarify with you where you're at to get a better understanding? Because what we're coming down to, Jesse, is you're not going to be able to go there, okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get out and go to the storage shed. You're not going to be able to do this. Let me ask you, what do you think Julie's going to say when we tell her that you're telling us that there's evidence that could help you in this storage shed that you don't want to tell us where it is that could possibly help your case? How is that going to look to Julie? I mean, you're worried about 5 months. I'm telling you to worry about the rest of your life.
Oh, I get that. I get that.
No, see, that's the part. I'm
I
not sure. I think you kind of do, but you kind of don't, because there's evidence there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you have a dead body hiding in a storage shed? Is there something? Is there a body in there?
For me, it's that the legality of things right now is I've been able to talk to you guys, but I haven't been able to talk to anybody else. That's hard for me. You guys are doing your side of the job. I need somebody on the other side, like an attorney, not saying for questioning, but I need to know
Again, so
I guess
you're,
things
again,
get-
so that
yeah,
you're
no
not
talking.
invoking your
No,
rights, correct?
no, I am
Okay,
not.
every time you say
I know,
that,
and that's why I don't want to keep saying it in that sense, but that's why.
The case is important to me, Jesse, but in the same aspect, I understand your rights. I respect
Yeah.
the fact that people have their rights. So if, again,
And
at
that's why
any
I'm
time,
talking.
at any time
I-
you feel that you're in too deep
Yeah.
or this or that, you let me know, okay? Because I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do that.
And I
okay?
guess that's my biggest thing. I don't want to, I guess, waste your time talking on that right now because that's what's holding me back right now is not being able to talk to an attorney about it. Anything else, I have no problem answering questions or doing, but I just...
But you do have the ability to contact one. I mean, in the jail, you can make a phone call.
Yeah, but I don't have anybody, like, in mind. You know what I mean? It's not like... I mean, my mom's looking. She just started today. You know? But it's... I don't want to say it's thrown out the window.
And why would, if you don't want us to see this, if you don't want us to talk about it, if you don't want us to, then why even bring it up, Jesse? Why say that there's this stuff hanging? Because
Well, and that's why
you said the payment's overdue, right? You said the payment's coming up due.
Yeah.
You know those places don't wait long. They're going to get rid of your shit. They're going to get rid of it in a hurry. They're going to get rid of it. So why risk losing something that could help you?
At
Because
this point,
the reality is, Jesse, you know that this is a serious investigation.
Yeah, I do. And I think I just need a few days on it. That's where I'm at with that. I'm willing to answer and do anything because that's what I want to do right now. But this I'm just sitting on right now. And it's just something that I just feel I want to. I don't have the best answer except that I want to talk to somebody else about it. That's the only thing I can honestly say because it's the truth.
So you just want to talk to somebody about the storage issue?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk to you about the phone stuff a little bit more, okay?
I was going to ask you that too. Everything you guys did take, eventually do we get that back? Or I don't even know what you all took. I know the phones, obviously. Does that ever?
Anything that holds evidentiary value, we're going to keep.
Okay.
Okay. So.
I'm assuming you guys took my laptop, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's brand new, so there's nothing on there, so not worried, but just asking.
Basically all electronics we took. Your cell phone.
Yes.
We were able to recover a lot of deleted stuff.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good, Jesse.
Because I knew there was a lot deleted, so that's why I was hoping that.
So, what was some of... Why would you have been researching certain poisons?
I wasn't. That was her. That's what I said she was doing. She was looking at any options, and I said that. She looked at the pill. I mean, I know some of it. I don't remember all of it, but she looked at different options. She looked at a lot of different options.
Okay. But there were some recent searches.
Recent?
Yeah, like in June of 2019.
For what?
Some recent poison.
I don't know on that one.
No.
It wasn't poison that she had used, or was it?
I don't think so.
Then I don't know. I really don't on that one.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't on that one. Why would I have looked for it recent?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. You tell me.
I mean, I'll be honest, we do. I told you, we watch a lot of, like, the Line PD and stuff, so we look up a lot of, like, random things off of there that we see, but I don't see any looking up a poison. That's why I'm like, I don't know on that one. And in June, that's even more odd, so.
Yeah. A little concerning.
I mean, I'm not trying to poison myself, if that's what you think.
No, I don't think you're going to poison yourself. I mean, you had that opportunity long ago, right?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Okay. So what do you think about the whole situation, Jesse? Let me ask you.
I think it's a mess. I think it's all a big mess. I wish I knew things I know now differently than then, or I wish I would have reached out or done a lot different, I guess, is where I'm at.
Like what?
Gotten more help, asked for more help, not helped her. I mean, a lot of things. If I could go back in history, I wouldn't be sitting here, I'll tell you that. That's honestly the truth.
Now, you've heard me talk. I've kind of beaten it to death here about the perception issue.
Yeah.
You know, That's why we stress the importance of telling the truth from the first time, from the get-go, or even the second time. Okay.
Well, I still think the first time's better.
The first time is better, but the second time is a key one, because now that third time and now today, so it's like, nope, never saw the Visine. Nope, yes, there was Visine. Never drank it. Never saw it. Yeah, I put some in there one time. But then nope, didn't know about this, or there was no way because it was in there. Then there were 6 bottles in there. So, and now we hear this storage shed stuff, and it just, Jesse, whether you believe it or not, I don't want to sit here and I don't want to jack you up on these charges. I don't want to sit here and charge you with something that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So I can't stress enough that if there's something that says, because helping somebody
It's a lot different than actually doing it yourself.
correct, 100%. So
That's what I thought of this today too, and I thought you guys didn't take her phone either, her cell phone.
no,
And I thought of that after the fact too, and I'm like, I don't know if there would have been anything, because she couldn't internet search on there, but she used that phone numerous times when she called people prior, like when she was first getting her pills and things of that nature, when she was looking at other options that I didn't have access to. But I did think of that too. I was just trying to think of any. Honestly, while I've been sitting here, I've been racking my brain with everything possible. So that's kind of where I'm at. There was a lot of things that she said and done over such a big time frame that I just wish I had, I don't know, more information.
so I wish I had more information, Jesse. I really do. Did your mom know that she was drinking the Visine again?
Yeah. Oh, no. Drinking the Visine?
Yeah.
Or no.
Never.
She knew about the gun. No, she didn't know anything about the Visine. She knew about the gun. She knew about the pills. And she knew she was suicidal, but she didn't know to what extent. Because my mom, that was the first thing she said to me, did you tell them about the gun? I said, yes, I did. So I said, I'm sure they'll ask you or they'll want to know something, but I said, you actually knew of that, so. Because she was very frustrated with me with that one.
Your mom was?
Yeah. And that's because my mom looks out. She loves Lynn, but she's going to look out for me, obviously, before Lynn, because, only makes sense, obviously.
Well, at this point, everybody should be looking out for themselves. I mean, you should be worrying about number one for you, and that's you, and that's your future. Nothing is set in stone right now. But unfortunately, Jesse, you're kind of in a little bit of a quicksand situation here. And I'm trying to offer you a branch here to say, prove to me and Chris and to Mandy and everyone else that you're saying you were trying to help her do this. And you have evidence that's there, Jesse.
The thing is I don't know what extent is there. That's what it is. I don't know how much is there or what is said or what was. I know she always said, that was her biggest thing. I'll be very honest. She said it all the time. When she first started her downhill spiral and said, I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be sick anymore. When she first started that, she said, one day out of the blue, she said, if I ever ask you for help, would you help me? And I said, what do you mean by that? And she, ever since that day, she kept saying it. And I said, Lynn, that's a lot to put on somebody. And her biggest worry was, never is going to come back on you. They can't come back on you. They can't come back on you. I don't want to hurt you. That's the last thing I want. She knows. Obviously, she did time. She knows that I did time. She knows I'm on probation. That was her biggest thing, as she always said. Neither one of us are ever going back. I'll never go back. You're not going back. That was her biggest thing that she said. And that's what frustrates me, I guess, the most, is that I'm sitting here because I did help her. And I shouldn't have. I know that now, obviously. For me, it was very hard. How can you watch somebody over and over and over go through this and go through this? And you're there with them. You're helping them. You're trying. I mean, my last poll, I thought for sure when she went to the hospital, we'd finally get somewhere. I really thought. And we did for a little bit. I mean, a few days. And that was the other thing. You guys said the walking. I thought that last night. She walked into the hospital. They don't know how. But when we got home, she walked from my car. You've seen my car. You know my car. She was used to her car. She couldn't get that high, but my car was lower for her. She got out of my vehicle and walked by herself. She did best to stop quite a few times, but walked. You saw her place. You got to go all the way around. There's a step, but she never did the step. And she walked and made it in. That's why when she fell, was there second or third night? There's just so many days and so much trying to remember back. But when she fell and June helped me, she was coming back from the bathroom. And she was going to sit in the recliner. That's when she had the bathroom, but she was still getting up because she was trying to walk around as much as she could. And she was bending down and she missed the recliner. So she fell literally right in front of the recliner. Like she just missed it, obviously I wasn't there, but that's what she said she did. And you could see it, she was sitting in front of the recliner and she just couldn't, she didn't have enough strength to get herself up. So she did walk around. I don't want to make it seem like she never did. That was the other thing that I kept thinking is you guys seemed like she was completely immobile. She wasn't. She had her good days and her bad days. But she did walk around, and every day she pushed herself, usually to go to the bathroom at least once if she could, because she knew she had to keep moving.
Okay. But then it comes back to, like we said, it can be explained one way. And when those deputies asked you, you said no. If she was suicidal.
I said yes and no.
You said yes and no, but then all you said was she really loved her cats, but you didn't say she's asking me to do this. She did this. She had a gun to her head. Looking into investigation then as compared to how it has now is two totally different things.
I think it was a lot harder for me that day to realize that it actually had happened. I think that, I'll be very honest, I didn't expect it. I did and I didn't. It was one of those things every day you never knew what was going to happen when you came back. Or when she didn't answer the phone, was she alive or dead? I don't know how many times I flew out there when she didn't answer the phone thinking, I'm going to find her. I'm going to find her.
But you left that day and you said you were concerned when you left.
I was always concerned, to be honest. It wasn't just that day. It was a lot of days.
Had she started drinking the water by the time you were getting ready to leave?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Okay. Did you see any effects taking place?
No. But she was on and off all morning as it was. No, there was no effects before I left, none whatsoever. She was a little bit drowsy, but that was always. That wasn't just from that. That was all the time. And I would say by the time I left, she had a few sips of it. It wasn't anything extreme, but that's usually how she was. Like, even when she drank regular, she would have a few sips, she'd take a break, and then she'd be like, I need to get water in me. So she would chug some, and she'd sip some, chug some. So, before I left, she only had a very little bit.
How full was it?
It was a full one.
It was completely full?
Yep.
Okay. So she would have poured out the water, and you said she did that 2 days prior, was that it?
I threw out the stuff 3 days prior, so I'd have you 3 days before.
So you were there when she put it in?
No, I was not.
What do you mean you threw the stuff in?
I came back the next day when I came back. So she had to do this actually 4 days, because 3 days before is when I came back and emptied everything out. And that's when I said to her, I said, where did these all go? And then she had a bunch of waters and stuff, and I always took out the garbage. That was just part of my routine, with the cat litter, the garbage. And I said, where did they all go? And she's like, oh, don't worry about it, like she always did, because she didn't want me knowing. And I knew she put them in her water a lot. Vodka she did on occasion. Not extreme, but on occasion. And she liked it more, she said, with the vodka. I don't know why. She said it was a different feeling. Other than that, I don't know. But
what did you put it in?
What did I put it in?
Yeah,
the one time I did it?
No.
Oh, mine?
You did it yourself.
I didn't put it in anything.
I thought you said you did.
No.
You just drank it straight out of the bottle?
Yep.
What did it taste like?
Kind of oily.
Really?
It smells like, I guess, and I don't even have context. I just know because I've been around people that do. Like the contact solution. That's what it smelled like. Okay. But I shouldn't say, it was just had like a Slimer. It was different than water. I could notice the difference.
You said before that there was, that you got rid of all those bottles, right? You threw them away in the trash.
Yep.
Okay. So in the storage shed, there's Visine bottles. Why would there be Visine bottles in the storage shed?
I have some with certain dates on them that she had taken them.
Okay. Why would there be dates on them?
She dated them.
She dated them.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she date them?
She did certain things where if something happened, there would be a way to come back and show she was taking it prior or so forth.
What dates would be on these?
They would be dates from the last, I'd say, month and a half, 2 months.
How many bottles?
Roughly, maybe about 20, or give or take. I know she had set them aside, and then they were just gone because she had like a pile of stuff. She had pills in there, and those ended up gone. I'm trying to think what else. I could have swore there was something. Oh, the gun. I took the gun, but it's not. I took it apart. It's just 2 pieces. It's not. There's no bullets. You can't use it for anything. Where it's how it's sitting. But I wanted something. When she started making her pile of stuff, I wanted something so I could come back and say, okay, it's not just me that has a pile of stuff. She had a pile of things, and I want something to show she really did order this. I have the receipts of that, and I have receipt of something else. And it has like all her shipping information, all her everything.
Was it her credit card you guys used about
Yep.
it?
Yeah, because she even talked to the lady. Because it had to be shipped to the same address that matched because it's a certain product. I don't know how to word it. Like, they don't consider it a firearm because it's not a together. But she said something, I remember plain as day, and I can't remember the right wording. But she said, well, it has to go. And she's like, well, that's fine. It's coming to my house anyway. But that was like one of the things the lady, I remember, like when she was talking with her.
So, I know basics about that stuff, but I guess
I've never noticed how that.
I didn't know you could buy like part. I would have figured that they would have done some kind of background check either way. So
No.
what they can get away with it because it's not put together, so it's not
Yep.
technically a functioning firearm.
Yep.
So no
And she
background.
literally researched this and found 2 companies, and she wanted one that did like next day or 3-day or something, and they ship it immediately. Yeah, I've never heard of. I don't know how you buy firearms. I never thought you go to a store and you have to do a background check. I've never had one in my life, so I don't know how it works, even when I wasn't a felon.
If you wrote a book about this, Jesse, somebody's mind would be blown, right?
If you talk to her, and anybody who would talk to her would tell you this, they would be flabbergasted with the way she thought and worked and did things. Like, she was determined, I really want to say 2 years ago, she was so determined that because back in the day, she used to do robberies and stuff, and she's like, I wish I could do that again, and just find the person that has the best drugs. I mean, shit that came out of her mouth, she'd drink and she'd just ramble for 2 hours straight. She'd call my mom or me, and you could see call logs that were just, and half of it, you know what she was saying by the end of the conversation because she was trashed. And you're like, what are you? But she was all over the place. There was no rhyme or reason for half the shit she did, the way she did it. I mean, it didn't make sense. She also got up in the mornings and went and did her errands because she didn't like to see people. She stayed in her house a lot. If you talk to her neighbors, she wasn't out. Before that, she was the party of the whole block. But after things changed, 3 years ago, I want to say, is when she first developed these stomach issues, and they just never liked it.
But that's the thing that's curious is
Yep.
she was never diagnosed with any.
Nothing.
So why would she want to kill herself?
Because they couldn't figure out what it was, and she was tired of being sick. She didn't eat for months. And if she did, she got sick. It was either diarrhea or throwing up. She was to the point, this came from somebody who was healthy and did everything, went everywhere, to complete isolation, locked everyone out, blocked everything out. Her whole appearance changed. It was still her, but it wasn't her. She was so bloated. That was her biggest thing. And they always wanted her to do the one test she refused to do. Something with your foot, and that sounds weird, but because they couldn't find anything, and they kept saying maybe it's the other end, and she refused. She didn't want to do it, and we're like, if you want to know why you're sick, and they're not finding it, go somewhere else or have something else checked or do it. I remember in the hospital, they tried again. I think they partially were able to do it, or she just said, no, I can't remember. But she was, I mean, anybody who knew her neighbor told her, before I got her to go to the hospital, her neighbor said, you look like you're dead. You look like you're dead. And she said, I wish I was. That was how she was. She just didn't care. She was done fighting. She was done. I think she was mad because they weren't giving her answers. And to me, that didn't make sense because eventually somebody's going to find out something's wrong. I feel like, or they should have.
Sure.
I think a lot, I don't know how much you guys know about her medical records or if you guys have gotten.
We got
I know the last couple times they would never admit her. She had something on her chart because she screamed about this. They were saying something that something about her seeing somebody, and she wasn't ever. She never saw anybody that she recalls. So I don't know where that came from.
And you would take her to the doctor. You were the one taking her to the doctor. And
I mean, once in a while, I think Jean might have taken her like once or twice, or Judy. I mean, prior, I wasn't always taking her at the beginning because I couldn't always. And then she'd take herself sometimes too. But I know some of them, like she needed a ride or she'd call or whatever. Because I did talk to the doctors quite a bit. Because she'd tell them, oh, I'm eating, I'm doing this. And I'm like, no, she's not. I don't know why she's telling you that, but she's not. Or she's telling she wasn't drinking. I'm like, yeah, she is.
what did you said that really bothered you about what Chris said yesterday?
At the end, because he said, you owe this to her. I feel like I don't owe this to her. She owes it to come out and say that I didn't do this. Or that I helped her. She can't. I know she can't. But it made me feel like I felt I got a really bad read from him when he said that. Like, I just didn't like the way that portrayed me, because then I thought, well, now you're making me feel like I murdered her, and I didn't. I have a very strong conviction about that. I did not murder her, and I couldn't murder her. I understand. I helped. I bought it. But in my mind, she knew what she was drinking. She took it. I didn't force her to take it. I didn't pour it down her mouth. None of that. And that's where I have a hard time.
What I want you to think about real quick, so I gotta step out for a second.
Yeah.
I want you to think about something. You said that Lynn can't do that.
Can't do it.
Can't tell us. Can't talk to us.
Oh, I know.
Actually, you're telling us she can. You're telling us that you have. You're telling us that you have proof that she did say that. So you actually have it in your hands, Jesse, that you can prove that to us. Just think about that for a minute, okay? Did you think about anything?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you think about this?
I get what you're saying. I get it a lot.
But still status quo?
Yeah.
Still don't want to offer this proof that could help vindicate you?
Not yet.
Or at least prove that you were trying to help her and that you were doing what she wished?
Not yet.
Yeah, I understand how this looks, right, kid?
I do.
All right, Jesse.
Can I ask you, what, so you were able to recover stuff from my phone. Did you find anything about that gun or any of the other companies?
We're working on. We haven't had a chance to go through everything. I mean, like Chris said,
You got me wondering about the June thing. I'm like, really, like.
Yeah, there's definitely poison searches in June of 2019.
Yeah, I know. Was it for a particular poison? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, how about any poison? Why are you?
Well, no, because I don't know, like, was it like a child, like, eating something?
No.
So that's why I'm trying to, like, check, I'm like, I don't understand that. So, I'm trying to think what it was.
Okay. All right. Then I guess we're kind of done. I mean, I'm stressing. Well, I could sit here all night and talk to you, Jesse. I really could.
I know. Can we just do this, like, every day? It gets me out for a little bit.
But, I mean, we're kind of going round and round at this point. I mean, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt that is what happened, but they need to figure something out, and right now you're basically saying you have evidence.
And she didn't have any paperwork there besides, I mean, obviously you guys showed me the one thing, but there was nothing laying around for anything.
No.
That's what I was curious and hoping maybe, but.
Sure, suicide note would have been interesting.
Yeah.
No suicide note.
No, I don't.
So that's it. We don't want to. You're still standing firm with this, huh?
I mean, it's not that I'm not going to give it up. It's just, I just don't know right now.
Well, Jesse, I guess I know it's hard, but in the same aspect, I mean, your ass is on the line.
Yeah.
Your future. This is your life. If there's shit in there about your probation, I mean.
No. The only thing, she wrote down what I know what she had. She wrote down information on when she first started getting sick. Wrote down how she was suicidal and she was asking for help, things like that. She wrote down something of that nature. I didn't read it, so I don't know the full extent. She talked about it with me because she said, I'm doing this as like a liability, whatever. And then there was something about, she had something from, this was a while back, it was like a ledger that she had like to like show stuff about money in case it was ever an issue. Those are the two things that I know she had, that she had done on her own, like, and that she put in a certain spot that has stayed there. The gun and the drops was something I did separately because I just felt, you know, if it ever came down to it, I have something that shows her handprints on something, obviously, and she was alive. You know, that was my thing. As far as what more, I don't know to an extent. I know she had always talked about a tape. I don't know because I never saw it, so I don't know. And then I feel like I'm missing something. I just don't know what it is right this second. Oh, I had some receipts. That's what I had.
What receipts?
They were from when she purchased the gun, and I had other ones, and I don't know what exactly they were offhand. I don't know if I saved them from the Visine or something else. I don't know offhand, to be honest. But I know I had more than one thing. It wasn't just...
What could are you? Is there something in it you think could lead to new charges?
No, not at all.
Then absolutely. Why in the world don't you want to say, here, help? This can help me. Show it to us. Show us that.
You want to know my biggest reason I'm saving it?
I would love to, because I'm really curious right now.
Because I'd like it to get me out.
Okay.
That's what I'd like.
Okay.
Check her Bemis Harris. Her BMO Harris Bank.
Okay.
She has a lockbox.
I thought you said this was a storage shed.
That's where she put her items. No.
This is a BMO Harris lockbox now.
Correct. I didn't give any specifics for a reason.
You said a storage shed.
I said it's not in my name.
So in a lockbox, there is a gun.
No.
Where's the gun?
I said she has her stuff and I have my stuff.
Okay, so you're saying.
Okay.
All right, so let's clarify now.
I just want to put everything out there because I don't.
Jesse, you need to put it out there
now.
Now is the time because your ass is on the line. Your ass is on the line. This is your future. This is the difference between Jesse possibly going home after a revocation or possibly facing reduced stuff.
But I wanted to talk to somebody about it. That's why I didn't want to give too much information because I feel like the more I give, the easier it is for you guys to figure it out.
But it's not. This isn't a game of I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
I'm not saying that.
But you are a little bit because this is stuff that you're saying can help you.
Yeah.
It's time to bring it out. And it's not a matter of us calling Julie saying, "Hey, do this." I'm telling you right now,
Jesse. Lockbox is the one that I'm most concerned about. The other one, I'm not too concerned, but you guys wouldn't find it without me.
What do you mean you wouldn't find it without you?
It's hidden. Done. Hidden.
I thought you said it was a storage shed. Jesse.
I never gave you specifics.
You said it was a storage shed. You said a storage shed. You said a storage shed, not in my name.
Because I didn't want to give you all the information. Why? I told you I was holding it for a reason. That's why I'm holding it. It's the one thing I got.
This isn't a game. You know that, right?
why
This
I'm
isn't a
telling
game.
you
This
right
is
now.
this is life. This is
I'm
real
telling you
life.
right now. So go check both those.
Go check the lockbox.
Yep.
In what spot?
It's her lockbox in her name.
And what about the shit that you
Emo
need?
Harris it's the one on, I don't know if it's Waukesha or Pewaukee because I'm not real good with that's the one I'm most concerned with, because we lost her key. We lost that a while ago. It is on, the street. I can see it, but I'm not silvering. No, that's one by your house. If you're, do you know where EN Clinics is? I know it's going to sound weird. I used to work there. That's why I can best describe it.
What is it called?
Parker and Blue Mountain.
Yeah.
So if you take, I'm trying to think of the right directions. I'm not good with directions. I go by parking things. So if you get off on Barker and Blue Mountain and you come up, what's that first main road at the lights right now? Big intersection.
Barker and Blue Mountain.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's Blue Mountain, but I don't know 100%. And if you take that to your left, all the way down, I think that turns into Pewaukee, doesn't it? There's a BMO Harris right there, across from car dealerships. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I might look it up real quick.
There's another bank on the corner too, SunTrust or so I don't know offhand. I just know there's a bank. But it's right where she bought her Jeep. There's a car dealership, 3 of them right there, or 2 maybe, I don't know. That's where she always kept.
So there's one over on Pewaukee Road? No, that's not it.
I don't know for sure. I know, I'm just not good with. It's right across the street, and they just redid the intersection. I want to say you take Barker down, and it turns, if you're on, or Blue Mountain, sorry, I'm not good with directions, you guys, but I know exactly what I'm talking about, but
Capital?
what's around it, do you know?
There's that park that's right there, and the car dealerships
Okay,
there, and Capital and
probably.
Barker.
Is the car dealership, across the street?
From the bank?
Yeah, because the bank's, this way, you turn in right, and there's a car dealership, and 2 of them left.
Okay, so there's Barker, there's Capital, Park, and then there's banks right there.
I think so. I'm almost positive. And what city is that one?
That's it.
I didn't know if it was Waukesha or Pewaukee because it's
That's either going to be Pewaukee or technically Brookfield.
Okay. Then that should be it because Brookfield is where I'm familiar because she's had me meet her there twice from when I used to work off the Barker Blue Mountain. I know I've seen it, but I'm not good with streets.
And what about the stuff you have, Jesse? Why wouldn't you want us to help you?
I do want you to help me. I'm not. My thing is I want to get out. I need to talk to an attorney.
But
now
remember what you said, so I'm going to ask you again.
No.
Well, your word.
I'm here.
Okay, but remember what you just said, though.
Yeah.
So are you invoking? I'm going to ask you. Are you invoking your rights?
No.
You understand what you're saying?
I know.
And I don't want to violate your rights.
You're not.
Okay? All right. You're not invoking your rights.
I'm not saying right the second.
You want to speak to somebody about this issue?
Yes.
About the stuff you said.
Not so much the stuff. It's just the whole case. But I felt like this is all I had to hang on to right now. That's.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just to clarify, you're not invoking your rights right now.
I'm not.
Okay. So you don't want to tell us where you buried this stuff.
No, I'll tell you.
Where'd you bury it?
It's in Whitnell Park.
Whitnell Park.
That's where my buddy used to be buried. It's behind my mom's apartment. I don't know. But I'm telling you.
Very cute.
Well, I didn't want to put it. My original plan was a storage. That's why I said storage. Because that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to pay for storage. But I thought, well, I should be able to find it if I ever need it.
Where in Whitnell Park, other than where your buddy is?
So if you were to take, you know where my mom lives, obviously. Did you go?
Yes.
Okay. So if you keep going down, you know how that turns into Whitnell Park, and there's that hill goes down, and there's that Ware Nature Center.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you here.
Yep.
Okay.
And I mean, like, I could
So
literally.
there's
pinpoint
Plumtree
it.
Apartments,
Yep.
right? There's your mom. Now there's Whitnell Park.
Okay, so when you first hit, is this the beginning of Whitnell Park, the green?
Yes.
When you first hit that versus my mom's apartment, there's a hill and it goes down to the Weir Nature Center. It is literally 10 feet behind the apartments at the beginning of the park, and it is in about 30 feet.
So there's the apartments, right?
Yep.
Right here?
Yep.
Right
Like,
here.
there's a stop sign right there before you go down the hill, I believe. But it's literally.
To the park?
Yep. It's 10 minutes or 10 feet into the park and 30 over to your right. So if you're coming in from my mom's and going into the park that way.
So we're not going to go fully into the park. There's a stop sign right here?
I think it's right there. It might be right before. I don't want to quote me.
Okay.
She just moved in these apartments.
So basically the Plumtree
It's
Apartments.
literally like 10 feet into the park and 30 feet over on your right-hand side. So you're pretty much in Whitnell or in the apartment's backyard. Not hers, but those apartments.
How deep is it buried?
I would say maybe 4 feet.
Are there any markings?
No. I had put a stone on it, but I mean nothing other than
What do
her.
you mean you had her put a stone on it?
I had put a stone on it. Not her.
Is it still
She
there?
wasn't with me. I've never went back. I've never had a reason to go back until this. I almost asked my mom today to do it, but I didn't.
When's your bunny die?
Oh my god, I was little. We lived in those apartments years ago.
okay.
That's why I picked that spot.
Because your mom just kind of moved back there recently,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
We lived there when I was maybe 4 to 6 when she was remarried.
Okay.
And that's why I thought that spot, to be honest. Because my money's buried, or was buried around there.
So there's Highway 100.
Yep.
You make that left on the college.
Yep.
You pass your own apartments. So like right there is the
You don't turn in her apartments, you just keep going
Yep.
straight.
But so it would be on the right hand side,
Correct.
right? So
Yep.
we would get out and walk
Yep.
to the right.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's about, I mean, there's woods and stuff. It does get muddy and swampy certain times of the year. It wasn't when I went. I did this literally before she even passed. So, and it was all together in 3 Ziploc bags.
Is it in a box or anything?
Nope.
Or it's just
3 Ziploc bags. I
Ziploc
just kept
bags.
Ziploc bagging it, and then the freezer bags.
And how far down?
I would say about 4 to 5 feet.
4 to 5 feet?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
4? I don't know. I guess.
4 feet?
Hold on.
You understand? You're just over 4 feet.
Okay, like this. What is this? I'm not good with
Okay,
stuff.
and need 2? Okay, well, shit, I'm like 4 feet.
You're right. So this is
Yeah, when you put
Anyone stop?
If you give me 4 to 5
body
feet
in there or something?
I'm one of those people sometimes, like, I'm better, like, I have the road. Like, I can tell you roads, but I can show you. Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm 5'5". I'm thinking digging-wise, okay? If you were to, like...
Okay, then what's going to be in there, Jesse? What is going to be in
That
there?
is the 2 pieces of the gun.
Okay,
The rest of it was thrown in the garbage.
okay,
There's some Visine,
okay.
and roughly, I'm going to say about 20 bottles. I would say with 3 different dates. I don't know the dates, though.
Okay.
But I did it a few times. This was stuff I had collectively put together for time in a Ziploc bag in my trunk under the tire for a while, or like under the mat.
Okay.
I was debating on what to do with it or where to go with it. I didn't want to get rid of everything.
All right.
And then there's receipts.
Okay, sorry.
Yep.
Okay, do you have anything? You're good. Oh. All right, ma'am. You put X on the side. Because that's a big damn park.
But I know the park very well.
Okay.
All right, so
So
trying to figure out
there's
the
Plumtree,
Okay.
there's college.
this is the road, right?
Yep, college.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm gonna say it's like 10 feet in. Wait.
Or is it 30 feet in or 10
Wait,
feet?
what did I say? Hold on. Wait, I gotta let me do it. No. Wait.
Because these are the tops of
I know, that's what's throwing me off right now. I gotta look at this way even though I came from the other way.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say like, and I'm guessing obviously feet wise, it's 10 feet from there, 30 feet from there. Guess
Okay.
that's what I'm.
All right, so, I mean, is it like directly in back of the
Yes.
second
Like,
apartment?
yes, like that building back there, that main one.
So that first building right
Actually,
there.
yeah, okay. No, I'm right. I had to like, now I'm looking at backwards, so I'm going on. Yes. My money is probably over there somewhere.
Is this the building you lived in when
No.
you were little?
No, actually, we lived way in the front, and my mom lives around here somewhere now.
Okay. So,
I just grew up in this part.
so there's 1, 2, 3 different things over there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's in the first, not this building, but the first one there.
The first section
Yeah.
or second
It's got to be like the first or in between the first and second, but yes.
okay.
Because they're not like huge like patios. Like, well, they are, but aren't, you know.
All right, so we're gonna go take a
And
look
then
at things, Jessica.
3, literally like one Ziploc, another Ziploc, another.
Like all on top of each other in the same
Yes.
bowl?
Yes. No.
Wait, could you
No,
have
I
a
mean,
bowl?
yeah, I'd say no, each bag is inside of each other.
Oh,
Like I put in
Oh,
one,
okay.
do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, they're all in one, but I like triple bagged it.
okay.
And then I wanted to tell you too about the Beagle Harris account. So that picture you showed me the other day, the one that was signed by Lynn and me at BMO Harris,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's when she put in papers in her lockbox that said, if you ever need these, that same day.
Okay.
And that's where, when she put in her stuff. So I know that for a fact. When she passed away, I went there once with my mother. And all we took was the rolled tube that she told us to take. It was in her list of directions when she passed away. And then there was still more stuff that we didn't touch. And then we lost the keys, so we never went back.
So
And me, Mom, and Anthony are all on the lockbox.
Okay.
So, but I wanted to tell you that because you were out of the room and I was thinking of everything, so I didn't forget anything. Did not tell you something.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All
Okay.
right. What's that?
Do you want me to take?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good one?
I'll run her back up if you're gonna.
Yeah.
No, what's it say? Or no?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so we're not going to come back in here for today.
Yes.
Fair else.
Yes, unless you have anything
Now,
else you think.
let me ask you something.
Yes,
I'm going to leave it up to you.
yes,
If we want to talk to you again, are you okay with us coming
Yes.
and talking to you?
yes.
Okay.
You can come and get me every day, because
Tomorrow, same time, same place. Tune in and find out what was in that Dropbox.